Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing this AM? Tabitha here. We're on to get the what's going on in the sky message out for the collective today. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm an Oracle channel intuitive. I read Oracle and Tarot cards. I'm a vlogger, crafter, among other things. Again, I hope everyone is well. Everyone be mindful that the messages out the gate are about you and you. This is something that I am feeling led to pretty much try to remember to get out at the top of the message because that's important to me. Um, I'm grasping more and more how serious that matter of factness is in this season. I'm saying in life, period, but I'm becoming more aware of it. So I'm trying to be more intentional of my messages because they are not only for me. I'm on a whole YouTube channel sharing these messages for everyone else. So be clear, again, that the messages are about you and you, your masculine and feminine vices within your one vehicle, your one body, mind, heart. Yes, it is about what's going on around you in your atmosphere, in your environment, exteriorly, physically, but it is about your internal muscles as well. So, let us see on the World Wide Web, you guys, what is it saying to us about today's vibrational frequency and energy. Today, August 13th, let's see, put our focus on. Today, August 13th, 2026, a rare six-planet alignment features Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, as well as Neptune, stretching across the pre-dawn eastern sky. Astrologically, this coincides with the energetic aftermath of a recent Leo new moon and solar eclipse, shifting collective energy from high intensity fire sign passion toward grounded, practical reflection as the moon now enters Virgo. Um, okay. Collective astrological influences. Grounding after the eclipse. With the moon shifting into practical Virgo, the collective mood moves away from dramatic expression towards sorting through recent emotional overflow. There is no reference. Relief and self-worth is a supportive alignment between Mercury in Leo and Venus in Virgo Libra zones. This helps ease lingering communication tensions, offering a collective breath of fresh air and a boost in personal value. There's no reference. Deep retrograde paces. Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto remain retrograde, working behind the scenes to slow down rushed ambitions and force structural long-term reassessments in society. That's coming from YouTube. Not sure of the actual channel. Okay, so that's what the World Wide Web is giving us today for our vibrational frequency as a collective. We're going to be using the Ask and It Is Given Oracle deck, Esther and Jerry Hicks, as we channel a bit of messages from the sky. Let's see what cards they want to offer us up here. Um, something is ill-formed, maladjusted. Um, there's an internal remedy, it sounds like they're saying, that needs to be clarified from within. Something being suggested internally. They keep saying internal, referencing. So this is about your internal guide, your inner wisdom. That was in today's short, actually. Go check out the short that was posted. Um, Yeah. So be mindful to pay more attention of your inner, they're saying inner nutrition. So I'm taking that as the food that your inner guide is feeding you. It's medicinal, it's medicine. And this is something that your body acquires. I don't know if that's the word. That's the word they're giving me. It acquires, but I guess it's required as well from your body, the food that you intake. This is mental, though. Again, this is how we think, as well as what we're putting out. They're saying this is dietary references. So, as a whole, the messages will just be what they are. They are all going to be about finances, love, as well as health, and what is coming from the sky. But this is medicine that is being fed to you. So, because it is medicine, what I'm receiving from that is you will get full and be fed from it. But the medicines sometimes can make you sick, sometimes they can be bitter. So that's just like a physical bitter that you're taking in. Just say you're taking in um, just something that you would put on your plate. So bitter greens are very medicinal. They are, now the phone wants to ring. That may be a message. So I guess message, as in the movie from the Wayans. This is medicinal. It could be bitter. Whatever you're putting on your plate, this is about you being mindful. Though it may not taste good, it could be very helpful because bitters are very medicinal. Green leafy like turnips and mustards, um, the bitter greens, which I absolutely love, especially when I'm juicing them. So yeah, they're saying, but be mindful of how you germinate them, the cross pollination of them. Sometimes they can become contaminated and become bitter as well, which will be more. It will make you sick. They say they use the word cyclical though, so it comes in cycles though. So be mindful. They're saying to keep your wormwood with you. So that's the parasite. Um, bitter. That's so they're going there with it. It could be germ because they did use germinating. It could become a bug and cross pollinate and make you sick. Okay. So this is about our communication because they're mentioning dialogue and humility. This is the vibration. Well, that was mentioned as well from what was read on the World Wide Web. This is about our communication change. We're shifting to a better performance of our communication. And we're taking note of this. We're being more observing of this, not to contaminate and to breathe through it, is what I'm hearing. This is cyclical, though. As I'm saying cyclical, it's coming out as like be mindful because you could get sick. That's really being pointed out to me. Okay, this is an inheritance, a vibrational inheritance. Okay, don't be conclusion jumping, they're saying, and just be mindful of your patterning, not to rob yourself. Also, as I was studying my Bible last night, I was led to Peter, Second Peter, to read 2, 2 Peter 2 and 3, the whole passages. I'm mentioning that because of what I was just speaking on, which was um, like because everyone has their own. The word journey is coming up, but that's not the word that I want to use. Free will. We all have our own free will, which means we all get to choose our own guardess at the end of the day. This is at the end of the day. As a whole, the percentage of the collective is very big. And so the population chooses to follow one particular guard for the most part. But then we have the so-called rebellious um, collective who chooses their own guardians. And with that being the case, this is about you because you know that is a pattern that you're choosing. Even those who, as a collective, are choosing the population of the God, that they're choosing. Say Jesus or Buddha or, I just heard Ganesh, but okay, Ganesh. That's an elephant though, an elephant guard. Well, it is still a guard though. Um, you know, those types. There's another one I was trying to toss out and I can't remember, but yeah, those. So those are the bigger guards that most of the collective from each culture or even in the Americas that are choosing. But then you have the rebels. And so with that, to the point is you get to choose. You should be mindful that you are choosing your own guard, which is giving you your own patterning. And so with that mindfulness of the pills that we are taking in, the medicines of our internal pill, um, lay your head on my pillow. I'm sorry. We get to, we end up going all over the place sometimes. But anyway, that's the message. That's part of the message. Check out the song. Be careful. Sorry for the noise. If you heard the noise, if you can hear the noise. But you are, you should be mindful of that pill that your internal mind, your subconscious mind is feeding you. That is your own goddess. And so it can be deceptive to you. And as you are being shown, because you are a public figure, everyone is out in the public. I'm saying this is everybody when you're out and about, when you're on YouTube, when you're on Facebook, when you're on IG, wherever you're going, when you're on Patreon, wherever you're going and you're showing yourself, whatever you're intaking, it is being seen. Again, even if you're just out in the public, walking around, riding your bike, driving your car with your family, your internal mind is letting you be seen in a certain way. And so if this is something that you love, they're saying protect it. They're saying protect it. So again, this is what will be seen. And so like it can become an offense at some point. That's kind of where I'm trying to go with it as well. And so if it's showing up as offensive, just say that something is wrong. They're taking me to this short that I was viewing the other day. Just say that there is something wrong. And the lady, it was very old, like maybe the 90s or something, the 80s or 90s. But she was very tapped in and tuned in and turned on, as they say. She was one of those. And so she was sharing with the Most High, or her goddess was giving to her. So she was sharing with the other lady that if you're praying and you're asking the Most High for a particular thing, and you know that it's something that you really, really need help and assistance with, well, okay, God is going to come and give it to you. But as they say, at the end of the day, basically, it may not show up in the way that you would like for it to show up, but you're steadily praying for it. What's going to happen 9 times out of 10 is it's going to show up ragged, basically. It's going to, because that tower moment has to come in to repair if there is a need of that revenue being changed. So if you are, you want a vehicle, just say you want a new vehicle, but and you're just so in love with that vehicle, but your innermost self is saying, I want that so very bad. But yet, just say you don't have a job, but that's the vehicle that you are yearning for. Well, in order to get that vehicle, then you have to get a job. The money has to come from somewhere. And so they're saying it could be impeding your traffic because you are not fully regulated. That's what they just said. So you have to be fully regulated and put your foot to the metal in order to get that particular vehicle. So there are things that again, a tower moment has to come in. And so they're giving me all kinds of stuff like people slamming on their brakes and just all that. It's just a whole lot of junk energy in the vibration of you getting to that vehicle because the dirty laundry has to be taken out. So this is about you being mindful. And I'm also hearing arrested development. So have you fully developed to get that car? If it's you're looking big, like you want a Lamborghini, like that's the vehicle that you want. Can you trust yourself to get to it? but you have to be okay with how you are going to get to it because it's not going to always show up as beautiful. Sometimes things have to be torn down in order to get, I'm hearing reassess. So things have to be reassessed in order to get to that thing. And they're also mentioning small mind way of thinking. So where I am, just to say as well, you guys, I'm in a different space right now. And with that, and I'm loving it. I'm loving this frequency that I'm in. Um, because it's not all over the place about I'm being humbled basically, and this is about humility. Um, this is about gaining the favor of God as well, is what they just said. So I'm great with it because I'm working on myself in so many different ways, and just wanting to keep bettering and bettering and bettering every muscle, especially my mental and my heart muscles, you know. So my messages may be kind of deep instead of just all over the place because I'm past that phase. Um, no longer in chase mode, no longer feeling pitiful, no longer having the desire to disrespect myself or any of that. I am truly in a space of regulating. And I guess I'm sharing this as well where I'm going. Um, as with the message I'm saying. Last night I did a full awareness of who I am and how I'm showing up in myself as I did it was more like a self-care that I was doing. Just to share, today is my fourth day on my fast, and I'm not going hardcore like I really want to. I want to do a water only detox, but I'm being mindful this time of how I am fasting first because I am much more seasoned in years than I was in the past. So I'll be sharing it over on my other channel, by the way. So kind of follow over there. I haven't posted anything yet, but I will be. And how I want to show up in the earth. So, that's pretty much what my message is, I guess, to the point. Are kind of They're gonna be deeper because I'm just kind of over the. Again, I don't know why chase keeps coming up for me. I guess because that's what it is. Like not chasing a partner, not chasing friendships, not chasing even family. You know, just being okay with me. And I feel that that's really what all of this is about. Again, this is about you and you. And so you're wanting to restore your help. That word help literally just came out. And in order to do that, and that's HELP, in order to do that, you have to restore your health. Because how can you help yourself, even, or anyone else, if the contract with yourself is not clear? How can you help anyone else? I don't know if I said that accurately. How can you help anyone else if your health is out of, is wonky, is restricted, is the word that they just gave me. So I just did a lot of blah, 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 rah, rah, rah. I know it's slow motion today. That's the song I'm hearing. Trey songs. It's slow motion today. It's configuration. They're saying weeding out. That's the words that they just gave us. So here is the first card. Not sure how many we'll go with today. Again, too, with the fasting, it kind of it slows you down. It slows you down. I'm hearing the word burden. I will do my best to make the best of it. So there we are. A key to regaining your feelings of empowerment is to decide right now that no matter how good or how bad you are feeling, you are going to do your best to make the best of it. Do that again and again. And in short, And in a short period of time, you will find yourself in a very good feeling place. And I totally resonate with this. But I just heard the song by Usher where he's saying again and again and again. That's the song they just gave me. But yeah, so and on the card, the number 55 is here. So that's 10. This is new beginnings. The dolphin, is this a dolphin or a bird? I can't really tell. It looks more like a bird. So be mindful of the subconscious mind. Be mindful of your friends because your subconscious mind is considered your friends as well. I'm hearing a friend, the gospel song by the Winans. I'm sorry. So yeah, that is your again your goddess. It's intrusive, is what I'm hearing, and it will beat you down and break you down and take you down. Break it down. Yeah. Groove me. So this is about getting into the groove. I'm hearing melon again. So you want your abundance because from the other deck up here, those melons were being shown to me. So in order to retrieve and regain your abundance, I'm looking at the green abundance. Then, giving your mental access over to someone else. Yeah. It you will tend to embody cross pollination. Is what I just heard. Okay, so you don't want that suffering to come in. Small mind way of thinking again. That's what I'm hearing. This is about regroupment. Is what I just heard. Only I know what is appropriate for me. Absolutely. When you remember that everyone who asks is given, then how wonderful and appropriate it is for you to make the choices for you. For the universe operates much more efficiently without a middleman interceding on your behalf. You always know in the moment what is best for you. Again, that mental chatter from your subconscious mind. So this is 47, and that's 11, and that's 2. So this is duality. So things are being broken apart, picked apart. But this is dual nature, is what I'm hearing, juxtaposition, balance, even. Remember the message was about balance the other day. But here she's holding a bird in her hand, you know. Again, don't let the bird mind, don't let other people's way of thinking affect you. Only I know what is appropriate for me. Her hair is very long, but I'm looking at, she looks empty here. She looks empty because it doesn't look like there's anything. I keep hearing central nervous system, but again, dual nature. You're rising above the background noise and broken promises and repetitive cycles and things that have been impeding on your traffic, slowing you down. This is your glow up season. You're no longer hollow. That's she just looks empty and hollow because she was listening to this bird. That bird was her best friend. She kept it close to her chest. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Yep, she kept that bird brain. That whispering, you know, hearing rock steady. So she kept wanting to get rocked upside the head. Say oops, upside the head. Say oops, upside the head. Yep, yep. I'm hearing Rockaway again. Fat Joe. Yep. So this is the season to simplify your life. Change your goals. And I'm hearing the mention of the significant other. This is, grassroots, deep thinking, going deeper. Go deep. It's deep. However, the song by Janet Jackson. This is quiet time. And serendipitous energy. You are highly qualified. This is about a mirroring image. Again, you and you, the reflection of yourself. But again, humilification, rising in away from your old patterning, righting your wrongs. Yep, yep. Letting go. The things that have been slowing you down, where you have been pumping your brakes, that have been abrasive. This is the time to snip, snip, cut the cords. Remember that message was in when I was saying I saw someone's fingers crossed in the message the other day. That's what's being shown to me again. You are cutting the cords of old patterning. You're coming off of the train. Warm night, can't sleep, too hurt, too weak, gotta call her up. Dial that number, no one answers till 2 o'clock. Child Love Train. I ain't gonna keep going because they started me all the way right there. But that song is Love Train. For those who don't know, because I know, I be jacking them up, but I be trying to get them out there, the songs. But Love Train, it's all pitiful. I love that song though, but it's all pitiful. You know, you trying to get to love. That's the way you go on Love Train. Yeah, well, you can't sleep. You trying to, so this gives it's a lot. Because it gives you a sluggish feeling. The song even sounds sluggish. It's dragging. Again, it's impeding on your traffic. If you're going to ride a train, come on, ride that train and ride it. That's the train you want to ride. Woo, woo, if you're going to ride a train. But remember the message the other day that the doors were closed on that train. Why? Because traffic was being impeded. So wherever you feel that you should be, I'm hearing the word subjugating. Um, this is a requirement to higher the altitude of yourself. So you're repairing, and this has to do with your heart. You're showing up for yourself. This is a requirement to show up for yourself. Period. Point blank across the board. Nothing less, nothing more, nothing less. You want a high altitude. Just go up. You're trying to go up. Period. Nothing more, nothing less. Wherever the hurt and the pains, they're saying this is about broadening your horizons, not where something will suffice. They keep using the word suffice. Not something that just simply is always not mental chatter. They're just you know, um, they're mentioning being closed off, serendipitous, regulating the heart, and rebuilding, coming out of the tomb, releasing yourself from doom. So they're also taking us to the World Wide Web and how we love to scroll and how you get caught up in the scrolling and how it will continue to affect your mindset. So that keeps you looping and looping and looping. Here we go loop-de loop. Here we go loop-de lie. That children's song from back in the day. Like you're looping and you keep they're saying graduate from that. Why are you still doing that? Because at this point you should be clear. And also you're meddling and you're allowing a mediator to come in and snatch your mind and how you think. Again, that doom scrolling. You can be watching because I know this is for me, and I have to jump right on back up out of that joint as soon as I see it doing that. You and especially if you're watching a storyline on someone else's business. I'm just gonna say a celebrity, and we'd be ready to hear some old negative news about a celebrity. Well, honey, please, they are human. That's first. Them folks is human. They're people too. So ain't nothing perfect about nobody. but you ready to go watch all the doom and negative, and then you want to, there you go, and then you hearing about the so-called days. I'm just gonna label it as that, and then that starts to project onto your heart, and then you get scared, and oh my God, and that's why this and that, and oh Lord, 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 yeah, no. So reject that so that you can rebuild. They're saying assume the position. Why did I call her Candy yesterday? What was her name? What was her name? Somebody. What was her name in the Players Club? The real sexy, tall one who wore the blonde hair, voluptuous thickness. What was her name? Um, I can't remember, but yeah, I just always hear her saying, "Assume the position, mofo's," basically. So yeah. But the Most High, that's what they want you to do. Like they're saying, saddle up, and breathe through it. But cut these cords. It's time. It's time to have a tower moment. And especially where your business is concerned as well, they're saying, because you're projecting an inherited fight for fluidity and somberness. It makes sense. If you're doom scrolling, then expect for everything in your mind and at the end of the day in your energy to become low vibing. So I can accept myself as a vibrational being. See? Yeah. Once you begin to accept yourself as a vibrational being who attracts all things that come into your experience, once you understand the correlation between what you are thinking, feeling, and what you are receiving, you then hold the keys to get from wherever you are to wherever you want to be on all subjects. Absolutely. So grab a hold of the reins and see where I was saying, what's the number? 6. That's 24. 6. This is where your financial gain begins to grow. And see, that's exactly what I was saying. And both of them have hair, but unfortunately, she had to go through a struggle to grow. Her hair became thinner, but her abundance became better in her central nervous system. Look at everything else is green. She was hollow here because she was allowing that bird to come and take over her mind. But sometimes you gotta lose in order to win. Sometimes you gotta lose in order to win. That hair became thinner, baby. I'm so petty. This me though. This me right now. She has rosy cheeks though. I literally was taken to that, which I'm laughing now. Y'all hear me? Make light of it all. I can make light of it because it's cool. It's what it is. It's what it is. But if I was a pop, or this is you and you. So if you're a popper right here, because you're allowing the mental chatter, you and your friends, um, to come and affect you, you know, you got maybe the hair is about the road, the length, how long she chose to go through her struggles. I'm trying to figure the hair part out in that way. I really am. But she had a lot of hair. Maybe because I just heard she was closed off. But she lost some hair in order to gain the wisdom and the nurturing. She's abundant in her heart now, you know. Again, 6 is here. Oh, and see, I said juxtaposition and duality at 47, 11 to 2. You and you. She looking at me like, girl, ain't nothing funny. Yeah, I lost my hair. She has a slight smirk on her face, though, like, and what? But I'm good because because I'm accepting myself for who I am. And what? Yeah, my hair thin. That movie Thinner. Again, it's cyclical. And I noticed that too, kind of ish. When you're in certain, I noticed with my hair actually. Um, when my hair has been very long before, and I, decided to go ahead and cut it off. When I last cut it off some years ago, it was because, again, from when I was working at the hospital system and amidst the pandemic, it was long, but it was so broken and brittle in so many areas. I was like, what am I holding on to? Because all of this, the sick energy from both the pandemic and working in the hospital system, like stress. So I just went ahead and cut it back off again. I'm one of those people anyway. I let it grow and cut, and eventually cut it back off. So this time, I was taking note of it. The seasons of when it started last growing pretty good was around the winter, and I was saying that's kind of when my hair starts to grow back quicker, fuller, faster is around the winter season. So, but I also had to take note of the fact that I'm stressing and that my health is being compromised right now and all of that. So, and I'm not so much stressing anymore. For these past months, I've actually been in a pretty peaceful space, but I had to really regulate. This is where I am really, which is the purpose of the fast. Girl, sit down and look at yourself fully. Be fully clear. Focus. Be fully clear of who you are and what you want and where you're actually trying to go in your life. So that's what this is, you know. hmm Just be okay with it. It's the last one we're pulling out. I must be I must be selfish enough to align with well-being. Yes, if you are not selfish enough to deliberately align with the energy of your source, I heard it, you have nothing to give. Ooh, 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 that thin hair, baby. That thin hair. If you are not, I'm so petty. If you are not selfish enough to deliberately align with the energy of your source, you have nothing to give anyway. Some worry that if they take too much of the pie, others will be left with nothing, while in reality, the pie expands in proportion to the vibrational requests of all of you. And that's facts. That is facts. You can start with just a small portion. When you think of the mom who's preparing dinner, she has a big family. Child, you be sitting there saying, now where all this food come from after she's done when you know she only had scraps. I love to see that. I've been there. I've been there. I've been the mom preparing the food when there were only scraps. And there was some left over. That's back to the Bible. Like again, the mom and her son, they were ready to die, literally. And she was like, here came that angel, and he was like, okay, feed me first, and I'll make sure you have bounty. And there it was, filled her barrel from that point forward. But this is you again, back to the top of the message, or back to this message where it's mentioned in the vibration. You know, you have to align yourself with that. And again, the message yesterday was asking, what are you putting in that pie? If it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. But what are you putting in that pie? Are you bringing ruin in, or are you bringing wealth in? At the end of the day, there's something being left out of the pie as well, in some way. She was hollow in her heart. She was sad. She was depressed because she was unclear of what was appropriate for her. So she kept letting that bird brain, her surroundings and her internal mind affect her heart and what was inside of her, that interference. But then she was like, child, please let me focus. I may have to lose. Again, she's losing a little something. She may have to lose a little bit to gain, but it was required. It's okay. I'm good. I'm Gucci, as they used to say. 52. That spirit has that peacock. I'm so petty. That peacock pretty thin though, y'all. The feathers on this peacock, yeah, Most High, what you got going on? I must be selfish enough to align with well-being. This is spirit, though. Word, communication. There's a requirement in order to gain the hefty packet. Are you really going to the divine source to gain? Is there something still crippling you? I'm saying that, I guess, because I was taking note of the actual bird. Or maybe this is the growing season because there is green. Both of these cards, the colors are matching. Y'all know I love when the colors be matching. Not fully, but well, because actually this color is on here because it's still something missing, I feel. Number 7 is on this card as well. There's something that's missing. See, that same blue is there and the feathers. I'm saying that. Spirit is here. Your ancestors are here. But are you really being selfish enough? Because that's a requirement. That's what they said. Are you really being selfish enough? This is about full high altitude so that you won't go back into regression. You have to be selfish. You have to be. Then didn't Genuine have a song called Selfish? Greedy. That's what it was. His song was Greedy. Yeah. He and this peacock looked like he poking around, unclear. Like that's the energy I'm kind of feeling off of here. Like indecision. That's they just took me to a short I woke up to this morning. Um, I was getting ready to post my short, and this short show popped up with Ike and Tina, where they were talking about how in their relationship, Ike and Tina, you know how they used to fight all the time or whatever, but it was he was saying the reason that everybody had their, again, the celebrities like I was just speaking about, everybody was running their mouth about um Tina Tina was mean too, and then they were saying, but I did admit to slapping around. That was the point of the video because it was talking about how Judge Joe Brown, he was saying he didn't care for Tina because she seemed, basically, he didn't use the word seemed. This is what he actually saw, but being mindful, he was a teenager to them, a kid to them, and his teenage eyes saw what it saw, but it wasn't clear what was going on. He didn't live with them. He don't know what was actually going on. But his perception of Tina was that she was stuck up, stank, and a real bi. But in getting to interact with Ike a couple of times, he said basically it was he saw him as a good guy. But you didn't even get to interact with Tina. Why? Because he didn't even. She was always in the car, ducked off. 9 times out of 10, cause I told her to stay her behind in the car. But however, everybody was putting their mouth on it. And for me, in all honesty, watching the movie, I said Tina had to be a spitfire herself. I think she's a Sagittarius anyway. That's a fire sign. We know, we know fire be coming, baby. Fire come from that butt. So at the end of the day, she's not the feistiest of the fire signs, but it's fire at the end of the day. So yeah, but he was saying that the indecision to the point. Like I'm saying, this peacock looks indecisive. Looks indecisive as heck. That's why them feathers are thin. So he was saying the reason he smacked her a couple of times is because she was indecisive. What? I kind of get it. I don't get it at all, but I'm saying that's what is it when back in the day when people say smack some sense into her. That was their old school way of thinking. So I get it for that season. If that was how they handled things and made things make sense. Y'all don't come for me. I don't get it. Again, I just told y'all on my other video, I definitely was not willing to ever participate in an abusive relationship. But I'm saying their teaching back then was in order to wake someone up. You smacked them. And with that smacking, I'm going to go to that, back to the top of my message when I was talking about me doing my fascia and um, cell regulation, basically, body regulation, circulating. You slap, you slap your, you can either tap, go look up fascia regulation. I have a few videos at the beginning of this channel where I was kind of showing that, but I never went too deep into it. But I'm here today. I'm speaking about it now as well. Like you can tap, or you can smack, or you can do this. I don't know if y'all can see me. Like you can use your fist. See all that abusive. See they turned healing. See, here we go into a whole something, a whole another message. It's supposed to be. It's a message. I'm not gonna hold y'all today, though, but it's gonna come up. I can see it. I can feel it. They changed healing into something abusive. I'm gonna leave that right there. Leave that. I'm gonna sit that right here for y'all. Observe. Healing became, and I'm hearing, a repetitive cycle of abuse, and it became a dumping ground, and it brought in poverty and limitations. You were no longer limitless. That's why he's unclear. This indecisive bird, this bird is indecisive because he's not selfish enough. He is not selfish enough. Oh, that's on this card. Yeah, he or she is not selfish enough. So just be selfish, y'all. That's where we're gonna leave this. We're gonna leave it here. Think about doing some fasting, and getting to freedom. F F F. All right. Oh, somebody just was real trifling. Somebody just real trifling. Whatever. Okay. So yeah. So we're going to close out this message. I hope you all got something from it. I know again it started out slow, but that's kind of where I am in my energy today. And yeah, progression soon come. All right. Thank you all for committing to the channel. Comment, share, like, subscribe. Check out the description box and book sis. Love you all much. Have a great day. It's Thursday, y'all. It's only one more day for you guys. Love y'all. See y'all on the next one.